Oh, Phil, there's no end to it, is there?
No. Hi, folks. Good to see you. Good to be with you again. Do you remember an old Sophie Tucker song that went, life begins at 40?
Yes.
Well, you know, of more recent times, people have said because we live longer and because of medical advances, life begins at 50. But according to a story I read this week, not so. People, Bruce, in their 50s are more likely to be stressed out and unhappy. They're juggling their careers, they're looking after children, aging parents. But once they turn 60, life turns around for them. Apparently, the sandwich generation, those in their 50s, are holding down a job while looking after children and elderly relatives. They're twice as likely to be stressed. But apparently once you reach the magic age of 60, a magic wand is waved and life begins for you anew. Life becomes heaven at 60.
How do you feel?
Well, I'm 60 plus, but I feel terrific, thank you.
Good.
The report finds that happiness for people 60 and over comes from achieving life goals like travelling, seeing children grow up, owning a home, and having a successful career.
Yeah, what are the most difficult years of your life, eh? Or the best years?
Yes.
It's not a bad survey, is it?
No.
96900 693. The most difficult, I suppose, setting the family up, the home, the education of children, the paying off of this and that.
Yes.
You know, and holding down a job that's going to be there.
Yeah, difficult years would be, I suppose, you know, 16 to 25 maybe,
Well,
leaving school.
I'm just saying with the responsibilities of children and home and education.
Yeah, but, you know, finding a job, holding down a job.
Oh, but you're generally at home with mum and dad, bottom.
Paying off a mortgage, perhaps.
It's easy. You're at home. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, good question you ask. The difficulty is, and what were the best years? 96900 693. What about for yourself? Did you have difficult years?
Oh, yeah, difficult years in this business. This is a crazy business to be in and think that I'm going to be here for 30, 40, 50, 60 years.
Yes, you wouldn't.
And it isn't the case.
Yeah, you wouldn't encourage your children to follow in your footsteps.
Well, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd encourage them to do anything that I don't know. I could advise.
I think it'd be tough breaking into the business today. Show business.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah, you know, it's very competitive.
I mean, in my day, you just really walked in and applied for a job, and if you were at least presentable or had some semblance of talent, you'd generally get it.
Yes.
I mean, people are now going to universities and TAFE courses and radio and television classes to get into the game.
Yeah, and most schools have media outlets.
Oh, most of them do.
You know, we didn't have that in our time. Or you can start off in community radio.
What did you do?
Well, I was lucky. I was in at the very start of television, and we all learned together.
Who?
All of us. None of us knew anything. We
Give
just
me some names.
plotted. Oh, well,
Wayne Brown.
No, you know the people who started off with me. There was Bert, and there was Ernie Sigley, and Pete Smith, and you know the sort of people. Shirlene Clancy.
Do a bit of a survey on the best and worst years, or hardest years.
Dorothy Baker, we're all there at the start.
96900 693.
Men, can I ask you, what were your teenage years like? Because for me, I found I just didn't fit in.
No.
I was never one of the cool kids.
No.
No matter how I tried, I was never going to be there.
This is the voice of Ken.
Yeah, Ken Francis.
No, I agree totally with you. And they are the most difficult years, I think. Because you're sorting yourself out as being, I've got to find a girl, get married, I've got to find a mate at school, I've got to find a job.
In primary school, friends, not a problem.
No,
you just make friends because nobody really cared about anything. But suddenly you hit high school, you hit teenage years, and you start to get all these little complex things going on.
This is where I think the problem of today is. I don't think there's much infrastructure for those presented with the youthful problem.
Oh, and it's magnified tenfold from when I was a teenager in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, when I reached puberty, I didn't know if I was Arthur or Martha.
Well, you still don't. You're still very uncertain. I see the way you walk, the way you dress, your general attitude.
Yeah, I'm still sorting myself out.
You don't know whether you are an Arthur or a Martha.
I don't know if I'm coming or going.
So if you want to chat to me about it after school...
Thank you.
After school?
Thank you, Bruce. Oh, wonderful.
No, we could sort that out tonight, and I think we should because of the pending libel laws.
Phil was going so bad he failed puberty and had to go back and do it again.
Well, that's right.
Know, it's
exactly.
tough, Ken. But I'm still here. I'm alive.
No, it's something you never took to Mum and Dad much about.
No.
Dad would say, shut your face, get to bed, get the job. Mum would say, I'm very proud of you, darling, and she's no reason to be.
And you start to worry about how you look, and you think, does my hair look good? And
Have I got enough Clearasil for
well,
Saturday night?
You're trying to impress a girl, and suddenly you got pimples.
Yeah,
oh,
No,
terrible.
it's not easy. Did your parents talk to you about the birds and the bees, Bruce?
Yes, yes.
Oh, they did.
I'd go into the lounge one day and Dad said to me, I want you to come over and talk to me about the birds and the bees. I sat on his nap and I said, Dad, what do you want to know? Oh, he had a pearl of laughter and went straight to bed.
Oh, it's comedy festival stuff. That's
Well,
stand-up.
I beg your pardon.
That's the only joke you've got.
I beg your pardon?
I mean, if you had to fill for an hour.
We've been critical now, are we?
No, but
Are
I
we?
mean, no.
What are we talking about?
Could you do an hour on stage with material like that?
Of course I could.
Oh, good. Stand
With a
up.
good feed.
Well, don't look at me. Oh,
No,
dear. 96900 693.
Now, the Butterfly Pavilion.
Yes.
The Butterfly Pavilion at the zoo is 30 years old today. They had a cake for the butterflies, all with the pollen and the elixir, and they loved it.
Yes.
And when visiting, you're hit by the heat, aren't you? It's like a vacuum cleaner that's been on reverse.
The humidity is a killer.
And most butterflies have a life of just a few days.
How sad.
How beautiful they are, and how sad it is that they end up quite young. But have you been there? Do you love them? And tell us your memories.
Yeah, keep the door shut as you go in so they don't fly out. That's
Well,
the
let's
idea.
kill about 100 of them and they get out.
But they always land on my shoulder and in my head.
Oh, they do.
Seem to be attracted to me somehow. They are very beautiful and very delicate creatures, aren't they?
No, they are.
Among God's
You
creation.
don't see many in the gardens these days. You used to see white butterflies a lot in the garden.
Yes, I think the birds catch them.
Oh, do they?
Yes, I think they're fodder for minor birds and some of those vicious birds that attack, unfortunately. So there you are.
All right. Well, let's go to calls. Welcoming in 3AW Wangaratta, 2QN Deniliquin coming into Nightline tonight, a special Friday night edition.
Yeah, we love being here with you on Friday night, so please ring us and we'll talk to you.
Kathy's at Greensboro tonight. Hello, Kathy.
Yes, Kathy.
Hello, how are you both?
Yeah,
G'day.
good.
I'm
Hi.
good. Now, I'm a first-time caller, and I'm ringing up. I couldn't get on last night. Phil, I've got the perfect answer for you as regards donations.
Yes.
If you spare me a couple of minutes, the Alfred Hospital Heart and Lung Transplant Unit.
All right, tell me more.
Now, when people have a transplant, they have to stay close to the Alfred Hospital for 3 months, and they have to have gym 3 times a week, and they and their family or a family member have a huge accommodation cost.
Of course.
Now, the Regis Hotel in St Kilda, the Transplant Trust has managed to get 2 suites for families during that 3 months. It's a non-profit organisation, and all the money goes to the Transplant Clinic Accommodation Program.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, it sounds very worthwhile, Kathy.
Oh, it is, Phil, because, I mean, people can pay thousands for accommodation
Yes.
for 3 months. Yes, yes.
A lot of people are going with this Airbnb these days where you stay in private accommodation for next to nothing, you know.
Well, they haven't been able to get anything like that near the Alfred Hospital. And a lot of people come from country and interstate.
That's the truth, yes.
Yes, yes.
I might look into that, Kathy. Thanks for the tip.
Well, I think a lot of, I think Randall McDonald, I think McDonald's have an accommodation for mums and dads who are visiting their children from interstate and in the city.
Yes, I think at the Children's Hospital they're accommodated with their children if necessary.
It's a very tangible way of supporting, isn't it, the whole family unit?
Yes, yeah, good thought, Kathy. I'll look into that.
Bruce is the name, thank you. Demi at Mill Park.
Hi. Hi, Phil. Hi,
G'day. Yes, Demi.
Yes,
G'day.
Demi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, fine. How are you?
Good. Thank you very much for keeping me company every night.
Of course.
Every night. I'm happy to hear, and I wanted to wish you Merry Christmas.
Oh,
Thank
you're
you.
very sweet. Thank you,
And a
Demi.
Happy New Year.
And to you, and to you.
what happened at the end of the program? You don't pick to yourselves. You don't pick. You don't say to Bruce, you did that and I did that.
No, we don't anymore because it's only a 2-hour show every
What
night.
did we do? What was that?
Oh, we used to go through the headlines, what happened in the show.
yes, yes. And nothing much happens really now.
I used to laugh and looking forward to that.
Oh,
right.
did you darling? Thank you, Demi.
Thank you very much.
Have a lovely end of the year. Have a lovely Christmas.
Thank you very much. Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Debbie.
Okay. Bye.
Nice of you to call. Thank you. 96900 693, 17 past 10. It's past 10 as we catch up with Pat, Phil.
Oh, hi, Pat. How are you?
Oh, hello, boys. I wanted to comment on, you were talking about your eras, 15 and whatever.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Do you remember a song? I can't remember who sung it, but it was when I was 17. It was a very good year.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra, I think, had a version of it. Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
I don't think perhaps you're right, Frank Sinatra.
Well, I think a few sang it, Phil, didn't they?
Yeah, but Bruce is right. It was a Sinatra hit, yes.
Oh, I see.
It goes through from when I was 17. Yeah. It was a great year.
It was a very good year.
Very good year, yeah.
And now I'm growing old.
And then to 25 and 35. Yeah, very good song.
Yeah, can you find it and play it?
Well, sadly, it's a very long, dirgy song, and we're only here to talk, Pat.
But not to be critical of your comment.
No, it's a pretty song, but
it just reminded me when you were talking, and it's relevant, I think.
Very appropriate.
Richard Tauber had a song, didn't he, when I was 17?
Or Girls Will Make the Love and Kiss, are you thinking that?
17.
I don't know that one.
Yes, yeah. A little bit of it. Here's the song, Pat.
Thank you.
When I was...
Yes, it's an old segment from Nightline.
Yeah, good to hear it again. Brought back memories.
What?
The song. Thanks, Pat. Hi, Jeff. How are you?
And Phil, Bruce, you were talking about the butterfly house at the zoo there.
Yes.
And it brought back a memory. We took our youngest daughter there not long after it opened, and she's 26 now, so it would have made her 4 or 5 at the time. And she had was wearing glasses at the time because she had a squint in one eye, and so you wear glasses to correct that as you're a young child. And we took her into that butterfly house, and she was also wearing a wonderful dress that her mother had made her. It was bright yellow with flowers on the pattern all over it. Now, as soon as she went into the butterfly house, you were mentioning how humid it is. Her glasses fogged up, and I think every butterfly in the place came sort of swarming towards her because of the dress. And she was absolutely petrified. So it really brings back that memory to me when you talked about it earlier.
Isn't that amazing, the colour of that dress?
Yeah, and the humidity, as you mentioned, the humidity in there, it's quite overpowering.
Yes. Oh, great story. Thank you.
No worries, guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Good on you.
Yeah. If you're young, you could be quite intimidated by a swarm of butterflies. I suppose.
Well, you got a swarm of anything around your face,
Yeah.
flapping wings and the pectorals and the oxymel carrigoons.
Be quite frightening.
Yeah, can be.
Hello, Aaron at Hawthorne East.
Yeah, g'day. It's Aaron of East Hawthorne.
Yes, you said that.
Oh, Hawthorne East. Thanks, Ian.
What can we do for you?
I've got my electricity bill today. And you know how much it was?
Tell us.
It was $207.35.
And what is it normally?
Oh, about that.
Yeah, so why are you querying it?
No, I paid it today.
All right.
So I've been paying bills all day. Plus I went to school.
Yeah.
But I got bills. I'm behind at school, so I've got more bills at school. And I'm getting a computer. I made an application to my to a fund Access for All Abilities for a computer, which is going to have great communication programs on it.
Oh, that's great. That's good.
Something to look forward to.
That's terrific.
Yeah, so I'm going to become online, and I'm going to study computers and business and companies and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, that's great.
That'll be a whole new world for you.
That's great.
Because you know why?
Mm-hmm.
I've been studying people like Malcolm Turnbull,
Yes.
and I think if more people can sort of study company law and tax and sort of how to make profits out of business and things, whole world would just go around a lot better, and sports clubs could work more exclusively with fitness.
Yes.
And working with bigger fitter sort of things, Bruce and Phil.
Yeah, well, that's very true, you know, Aaron. You can almost do a list of what's not taught in schools and what can be a great component in people's lives later in their life.
Absolutely.
You think of finance and you think of... What else, Phil?
Oh, well, many things you could learn at school, like learning how to drive a car, how to swim, how to do your tax return, CPR, things that are going to equip you in later life.
I've got a list of them.
Oh, in my mind,
Yeah, how to get a job and what sort of job would suit you.
How to be a good parent.
So... it's not a bad thought to have some of those subjects, are there?
Yeah, loading up a whole new world for you, Aaron.
And in Aaron's case, the computer and the modern age.
And your electricity bill will go even higher.
Okay, Ron at Fairfield. Hello, Ron.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, Ron, hi.
Yeah, we're talking about bills.
Yes.
Yeah, for a pensioner. I'm only a pensioner, but, you know, it's talking about putting the GST up.
Uh-huh.
You know, we pay 10% now.
That's right.
But, I mean, each bill you get, there's 10% on it.
Yes.
They put up higher, that means your bill's going to be higher.
Of course.
Yeah, that's obvious. Anyway, Bruce.
Yes, Ron.
Bruce?
Yes, Ron, yes.
Yeah. Now, when you lived in Miller Street in North Fitzroy, you were talking about the birds and bees. Did your dad ever sit you on his knee and tell you about the birds and bees?
I don't believe he ever did.
Yeah, when you lived in Miller Street.
Yes, repeat that again.
North Fitzroy.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Now, you're talking about the birds and bees before.
Yes.
I don't think my parents ever told me about the birds and bees. I had to learn myself.
I don't think my father knew.
Oh, right. Well, I ended up with 5 kids, so I learned about birds and bees.
Well, you didn't learn much.
And now they never come and visit me. And I'm 80 years old, mate.
Well, there's such a herd of you.
Oh, come on, get real. That's life, mate.
Yes, it is, and I really don't know how we found out about it. Phil, was it just gossip at school behind the shelter shed?
Yeah, but Bruce, you came from a very dysfunctional family. Bruce was breastfed by his father.
No, but how did you find out about it?
Oh, marriage manuals, I think.
What did you read in a marriage manual?
The Kama Sutra, perhaps.
What age were you?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, rubbish.
All those sort of things.
You would know what you're reading.
I learned it all from books.
What books?
And movies like One Summer of Happiness.
And what did you learn?
And Jim Vickers Willis giving sex talks.
What else did you learn?
Well, that's what I learned, and that's how I learned. Just gradually over the years.
And what did it teach you?
I'm not a sex maniac. I just...
But it sounds as though you are. You've wrote hundreds of those books.
Yeah, well, I'm still single. I'm not even a parent.
Well, what happened to the books? Where did you go wrong?
They're in the boot. I plan to lend them to you tonight.
No, there's no need to. Thank you. I wrote most.
Thanks, Ron.
No, it's Bruce. Hubbast. Ricketts...
Sanctuary.
Ricketts Sanctuary.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
I wonder if that's still going.
Haven't heard of it in years. Was he... Hey?
Oh, good on you. I'll stay at home.
Eastern Beach? No?
Chris at Hastings, good evening.
Hi, Bruce and Phil.
Yeah, hi, Chris.
Hi, we just had fireworks here tonight down at the seafront there.
Why, for Christmas?
I don't know, Bruce. I didn't go down. I can see it from my window.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. Gigantor, remember him? I couldn't understand how he could fly. He was so huge. Gigantor, remember that?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. And what must have been frightening was when the Germans invented those silent bombs, you know, they used to rocket bombs.
Yeah, doodle bombs,
Yeah,
they were
didn't
called.
they scoop across water, like in the dams?
I think that was the dam busters, boo.
I think there may have been.
No, the V2 rockets went high into the sky.
How do you know?
Oh, well, I've seen so many documentaries about
What have you seen?
Oh, well, you know, on the History Channel, they're always showing programs about Hitler and his maniacal inventions.
So a lot of the bombs were the subject of these these films.
Yeah, well, of course, towards the end of the war, London was split with these doodle bombs, these V1s and V2s.
Righto, Chris, thank you very much indeed. Trish at Caulfield.
Hi, Bruce and Phil.
Hi, Trish.
I just wanted to let you know and your listeners about a scam that's going on with somebody overseas at the moment. They're ringing up and saying they're from Telstra, but they're not. They're trying to say they're warning me about my internet connection to my computer. Seeing I don't have a computer anyway. They're saying that they want to warn me because somebody overnight was supposedly using the internet overnight without my knowledge.
Oh, your internet?
Yes, but I don't have a computer.
Oh, right.
So I was going to have a bit of a play around with them, but I was too tired. I had a headache, so I told them to get the stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Don't put too fine a point on it.
I think you've hurt their feelings, Trish.
Yes, I think I did, yes. But just to let you know that in case anybody else gets a call like that.
Yeah, we wouldn't fall for that.
That's a good warning to anyone, particularly who don't have a computer.
That's right.
Yeah, you have the last laugh, Trish.
Yes, I rang up Scam Watch and let them know that it was something else was going on with them too, so...
Right, okay, done us a good turn, thank you.
Yeah. Can I just say hello to Janine of Hoppers Crossing?
Janine, is it?
Yeah, because she's not very well at the moment.
Oh, all the best, Janine. Hope you're up and about soon.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right, Trish, I think you've done the right thing, putting the old kibosh on any of that scamming.
And really putting him back in their box, Janine. Trish.
Alan, good evening.
Good evening, Bruce and Phil.
Hello, yes, Alan. G'day.
Not too bad. Yourself?
Good.
That's good. I just wanted to ring you boys because tomorrow will be 2 years since I lost my wife.
Oh.
And I also wanted to, I know I did ring about a year ago to thank you, but I just want to reiterate and thank you very much for the entertainment and pleasure you gave Barbara, because she never missed listening to you each and every night. So I just wanted to ring and, and let you know how grateful I am to you both.
Lovely of you to do that at this time of year in her memory. How are you coping, Alan?
Well, I've got my family and 2 beautiful grandchildren.
At least that's something.
They are really great, and tomorrow we're going to have a barbecue in Barbara's memory. So so that'll be something. We'll go down to the cemetery and have a little ceremony down there, and But I just we used to lay in bed and listen to you every night.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So Chris...
And forever, when those glorious creatures, those lovely children are with you, that's part of her.
Well, that's exactly right, Bruce, and and I'd also like to wish you and Phil a very happy Christmas and all the best for the new year.
Thank you.
That's
I know Christmas is a sad time for you, Alan.
Well, that's right. But like I say, and with my beautiful family around me, and it makes it certainly helps a heck of a lot.
All right. Well, you feel free to ring in at any time, especially into the new year when things can get a little bit on the lonely side. Feel free to.
Thank you very much.
They're part of your family.
Thank you very much, Bruce and Phil.
All right, Al. Good luck to you.
Now, here's something that will surprise you. I'm looking at a chronicle of events, and this is a day that Venetian blinds were invented in London. Guess what the year was?
1611?
Oh, close. 1769.
That's right, the old Venetian blinds.
Gee, they go back a long way.
Well, they wouldn't be the plastic... nor I don't think the wooden ones, would they?
Probably
they'd be very wide and thick, wouldn't they? Like Dutch blinds.
Yeah, made of bamboo or something. I think it might be time to turf mine.
I don't know about that.
I think they're a bit old-fashioned these days.
I don't know the bamboo blinds, wherever that's big.
And guess what? This will also surprise you. The first motor show was in Paris. Guess when that was?
What have we found? Jock's Journal,
No, I'm being conversational.
I don't think so.
I'm being chatty. Guess when this will really surprise you.
What?
The first motor show in the world.
What?
When? Guess the year.
1714.
No, there were no cars then.
Quick.
But back in 1894... There was hardly a car on the road then.
Boring. Last page.
If you can sing and you'd like to give us a little bit of Christmas music, give us a call.
Dennis Walter.
Peter, good afternoon. Merry Christmas to you.
To you too, sir. Joy to the world, the Lord is come.
12 till 3 weekdays.
And nature sing.
Beautiful, Peter. Well done. I'm singing that at Carol's by candlelight.
Thank you.
Excellent. You can sing along with me then.
Dennis Walter on 3AW 693.
Do you have a favourite piece of clothing that you just love? an old jumper, a shirt or jacket that has become part of your life. Naturally, it happens with shoes too. Hi, I'm Joe Gilmore, one of the fourth generation of Gilmores running Gilmore's Shoes, and it's our mission to provide shoes that fit, that are comfortable and become...
11 on Melbourne's own 3AW. We go to Subtle at St Albans.
You there, guys?
Yes.
Yes, Subtle.
Welcome.
Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Subtle.
You were just talking about the Christmas spirit and everything else. I wanted to just say, well, I come from Finland, but our tradition, part of these Christmas Day celebrations, but we celebrate the Christmas Eve, and the traditions, talking about traditions, what we used to do as a child, we always, obviously we had lots of snow, lots of minus 30 degrees, so you have sauna first and everything else, then you buckle up and everything, and obviously you go to the cemetery, light up the candles, lovely, beautiful, lots and lots of candles in cemetery, and you have an evening service if you wish. You come home and then you have your feast, the main meal in Lutheran Church of which Scandinavians are, and everything else, and you stuff your face, and then you have to eat all the ugly desserts, whatever aunties and uncles bring. Then you get to open the presents under the Christmas tree, and you get all these ugly socks and undies and whatever. But it was lovely, and you had a real tree and everything else. So that's my memories. It was beautiful. Christmas Day in Finland, it was basically you ate leftovers and nobody visited. But Boxing Day was a visiting day. Ah. Yes. Christmas Day, everybody were just slothing at home. But Boxing Day was olden days. Apparently, they had horses and everything. They were with bells, you know, and slates and everything else. They went for bells ringing and visiting. But yeah, Boxing Day was the visiting day that everybody went to eat each families or neighbours leftovers.
So it was Christmas Eve that was the big event?
Yes. That's the main event.
Right.
Still, in Finnish community, in Melbourne, in Australia, Christmas Eve is that when other people are partying and everything else, we slow down and we have sauna and most Finns in Australia do.
So will you have a sauna this Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yep. I got a friend on the same street. All Finns have saunas. Yeah. So, and real saunas, none of these tin.
I really think that's the tradition in Europe. I think it's the Christmas Eve, isn't it? That's the feasting and the celebration and the family unit.
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is. Finnish, Swedish, Norwegian, all us Scandinavians. The Christmas Eve is our biggest meal. That's when you stuff your face. Yeah.
Yes. Sort of stuffing of faces and saunas and...
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, that's all right.
And Christmas Day, we relax and everything. I used to work 20-odd years in Department of Human Services as a nurse. And I went to visit friends, and then on the Melbourne Ring Road, I was driving back home and watching these people on Christmas Day when I had already stuffed my face, and all these people, not much traffic, but they were raising their arms and everything else. Obviously, they were arguing that, we just had lunch at your family, and now we are going to your family and everything. Oh, So, oh, Christmas Day is my rest day.
I couldn't agree more, and indeed it's a wonderful time for families, but there's always that little bit of a rift, isn't there, sometimes within the family unit. We're not going to your place this Christmas, but it's their turn this time.
Yeah, it's a very emotional time, isn't it?
It is, very much so.
Particularly if you come from a large family.
And really subtle. It's true what you say, that it's the home of Christmas, isn't it, when you think of Norway, Sweden, Denmark and Finland all up there.
That's where
the home of Wenceslas, good King Wenceslas, wasn't it?
Santa Claus himself too, from up there in Lapland, absolutely. Yeah, you painted a wonderful picture, subtle like a Christmas card.
Brett at Glen Waverley. G'day, Brett.
Okay, boys, I have a great memory of the William Ricketts Sanctuary. I was a bit of an ugly duckling during the latter part of high school, and I suddenly blossomed into a swan. And
good on you.
Yeah, that's nice. I've gone back to the ugly duckling, by the way. And I had my first real girlfriend, and I had my license, and we decided to go. I said, let's go to the William Ricketts Sanctuary, and we got there, and we're walking around, and all of these sculptures are all of naked Aboriginal women.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think my date thought I was being a little bit suggestive.
Oh.
And so she was sort of shocked about what we were looking at, because every single one of them was as naked as the day they came into the earth.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
But hey, it worked in my favour, and the day panned out pretty well. So I have a very fond memory of William Ricketts.
Did you go on to marry the girl, Brett?
No, he married a sculptor.
That's right. I get a lot less back chat from the sculpture.
Yeah, but a lot more splinters.
But isn't that hysterical that you'd take a girl up to the William Ricketts Sanctuary?
That's right, to look at naked Aboriginal women.
Yes.
You know, I see. We didn't have the internet back then. We didn't know.
Didn't have anything.
I'd heard about it. I'd seen it on telly, and they didn't show the, let's say, the very fulsome bosom of the Aboriginal ladies on the telly. So, you know.
Brett, where is that girl today?
Where is that girl today? She is in Sunderland, in the UK. She was an English girl, and it didn't quite pan out. But I married a lovely lady, so it all worked out, and she's married to a nice guy. But we do keep it.
That's right. That's right. And that girl in England is modelling tree trunks.
Caravans on Cooties.
Coming up to 11, and then we're back with weather and your calls. But now, hello, John DeRemus. Hello, John. How you
Hello
going?
again.
Yes,
This is John DeRemus with the Passing Parade, the story of a man who styled himself the wickedest man in the world. His name was Ben Hogan. No, not the golfer. Another Ben Hogan. The records don't tell us if this one played golf or not, but he certainly did most other things. And I'll be back with his story after this message.
Hello there, Bob Rogers, and hello, all you twisting fans. This is Chubby Checker giving you a new twist on the Mac Robinson Land song.
Mac Robinson Land, the land of fabulous flavor. Mac Robinson Land, the land of candy delight. Mac Robinson Land, the land where you discover enjoyment, nourishment, and quality in every bite. Mac Robinson's.
He was born Benjamin Hagen somewhere in Germany in 1841. 11 years later, he migrated with his German parents to the United States. They settled in Syracuse, New York, where young Ben earned his pocket money by hawking indecent literature. As a result, he spent 2 years in a reformatory. On his release, he changed his name to Hogan. At 14, he committed his first murder when he lured an elderly storekeeper to the East River and pushed him in, then calmly went back and robbed the old gentleman's store. The next day, he took a cabin boy's job on an overseas ship. Ben Hogan remained at sea for several years, till in 1859 he came ashore and took a job with a circus. When the American Civil War broke out 2 years later, he was one of the first to enlist in the Army. To encourage recruiting, the federal government offered each man who joined up a cash bonus. Upon receiving this, Hogan promptly deserted. He tried the same trick a dozen or more times, till eventually he was recognized and arrested. Within 24 hours, he escaped from prison, and a few months later turned up in New Bern, South Carolina. where he conned his way into the job of head steward on the Union troop-carrying ship Cosmopolitan. It was then that Hogan really began to make money. He sold illicit whiskey to the troops at $10 a canteen and then reported them for being in possession of it. When the whiskey was confiscated, he replaced it for another $10 a canteen. Later, he took a post as a spy for the Union forces and at the same time signed on with the Confederates in a similar capacity. With written authority from both armies, he was able to move freely between the lines and did a thriving trade in contraband. When the war ended, he took over a disused cabaret in the oil country of Pennsylvania, stocked it with beer and girls, and nailed a sign outside which read, "Ben Hogan, the wickedest man in the world." He made a fortune from the custom of the oil workers, but struck trouble when he shot and killed 4 men in a brawl. A local jury acquitted him of the murder charges, mainly because no one was willing to testify against him. After that, he branched out, establishing glorified houses of ill fame in a number of cities and towns. In 1878, Ben Hogan underwent a remarkable transformation. He closed his chain of brothels, drank his last drink, and turned his back on gambling. He became a traveling evangelist. His recitals of his life story always drew fascinated crowds who never tired of hearing the tale of the wickedest man in the world. In later years, Ben Hogan opened a lodging house in Chicago for destitute men and did everything in his power to help them. He was still caring for the underprivileged when he died in 1916 at the age of 75. No one knows exactly what brought about the transformation of his character so abruptly. But if ever a man went from one extreme to the other in double quick time, it was Ben Hogan, the wickedest man in the world. Our time is up till we meet again for another chapter in the Passing Parade. This is John Doremus. As always, thank you so much, and goodbye for now.
Okay, now, with the International Climate Change Convention on overseas, I've never asked you, what are your feelings about climate change?
Oh,
Do you believe... No, Chris, now you're off the hook. I'm asking Bruce's.
I don't know. There's so many variations of thought about it, isn't there?
Yes, yes.
And forever and a day, whenever there's been a change of government or a change of this or that, there's always been climate change, El Nino.
Right.
Remember the fridges? Remember the fridge problem we had, the insert of refrigeration?
Yes, but, you know, that was a furphy, wasn't it, as it turned out?
Well, is anything not a furphy?
Yeah, well, you know, Andrew Bolt doesn't believe in it, as you know, and I'm very sceptical about it. I would like to see weather patterns going back 500 years.
Well, yes.
Because I think it might just be cyclical, what's going on at the moment.
I think you're right. There's a lot of cyclical in the weather, as you know.
Yes, so I'm not convinced that climate change is occurring at all. I think it might just be like we go back to the Ice Age and so on.
Well, yes, there's always the Ice Age. It's always quoted, isn't it?
Yes.
But it's never been such a detrimental effect on the whole of the world.
No, I think this, you know, might be a temporary measure at the moment. The temperature is going up and sea levels are rising and so on. You know, I'm not freaking out about it, but I was very keen to get your feelings about it. I've never asked you.
Well, I mean, you're quite entitled to ask anything at all about anything.
I might ask you a topical question every night.
What sort of things do you want to know?
Oh, well, we might do
Well, we've touched on sex tonight, haven't we? And Dad.
I might ask you about gay marriage on Monday night.
We might even get into that.
Yes, why not? Let's be topical.
Yeah, we'll combine everything. Gay marriage, Dad, and the El Nino.
Hi to 3AW Wangaratta and 2QN Deniliquid.
Cameron and Berwick. Good evening, Cameron.
Oh, good evening, and Philip and Cameroon, who's reverted back to calling me Cameroon, so I'm calling him Cameroon.
Right.
They're just on Nicholas Smith Wars. He passed away a couple of days ago. Remember Nicholas Smith from Are You Being Served?
Oh, yes.
He was the last remaining major. I'm talking about major of all the 8 or 10 characters that. I'm not talking about the extras and all that, but actor in the series that passed away. And he was only 38 years old in 1972.
Gosh.
I couldn't get away. And he looks like he was 58 or 60. He's one of those people that looked a lot older than, he's only in his 30s when he started and in his 40s or 50s when he finished. and he looked a lot older than his actual age, didn't he?
He did, yes. Yes, he did.
I think it's probably the bald head. And another bloke that looked a lot older than in his actual age, and he was in his 30s too, was that Winchester doctor in MASH. Remember him?
Oh, yes.
Who played the records and you know, with his symphonies and his Mozart and his Beethoven records and everything.
That's right, yes.
And he was actually in his 30s when he started in MASH, but he looked about 50 or 60.
Yes, he did.
It's amazing how some people look a lot older. I think it might be that type of hair, you know, where you've got the receding hairline going across the top of their
Yes, and it's clever makeup too.
And it's British dressing too. It's the three-piece suits and the tie and all that.
Yes, yeah, I think that's true. But there's some Americans who look, as I gave you an example, some Americans do look older than their actual age. And I was I was reading up on both of them, and I was quite shocked at you know, when we saw them, they were actually in their 30s, but they looked like they were in the 50s or 60s, didn't they? Those?
Well, that's good acting, you see.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah. Now, just on Christmas, and we'll pray, because next to the Middle East is, you know, just reaching cauldron point, and we don't want it to overheat or overboil, do we?
No, we do not.
Because it will affect all of us economically, anyway, at least, and in terms of the the overflow from, you know, people trying to escape the horrors that are going over there. But on a more pleasant note, you're talking about the Christmas sort of venues. Remember the Tatra Hut?
Oh, gee!
Time. And thanks to you guys last year for the ticket for the cuckoo. Remember the cuckoo at Christmas?
Yeah, the Tatra Hut. Goodness
Tatra
me.
Hut's wonderful. They had the waterfalls, the dancing waterfalls.
Yes.
With the theme to dun 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 dun. What's that theme, boys? Dun 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 dun.
Chariots of Fire.
Hey?
Chariots of Fire.
It had Chariots of Fire. I remember because it was fairly new back in those days.
Remember the cuckoo?
I've been to both the cuckoo, thanks to you two guys.
No, the other one. What was the...
Well, there was Edelweiss.
There was Baron of Beef.
Baron of Beef. You're the one. Thank you.
And also, I remember going to, because we were just down the road from the Mulgrave Country Club, if anyone, or the Wheelers Hill Pub, both of those venues are great for Christmas, people. So
they would be, yes, yes.
I'd highly recommend them both, but all those venues are. But I reckon that the Tatra Hut and the Cuckoo would be all booked up for Christmas by now.
I think so.
I'd say so. Anyway, hooroo, boys, and Merry Christmas.
All right, Cameron, thanks for your call. Good luck and a lovely time for you at this juncture.
Do you remember when Bavarian food was all the rage, Bruce?
You have the Eltham Barrel.
You had the Hofbräu House.
Hofbräu House in Little Burke Street, wasn't it?
Yes, we mentioned
Little
Edelweiss.
Burke Street?
Yes, I believe so. And all, you know, you had the German club in Dandenong Road.
Yes, the Edelweiss. I think I mentioned that.
Now, people just loved at one time Bavarian food. It was very in fashion.
It was huge.
Yes. I suppose you can still get a good Bavarian meal if you know where to go. Like, as we know, the Cuckoo's been
Well, not as
forever.
many venues as there was 20 years ago.
The Bird and the Bottle was a favourite of mine.
Was that Bavarian?
Yes, very much.
Was it
so.
really?
Yes, out in the foothills there.
Goodness.
Yes, where you all dressed up in the leather hose.
What did you go as?
Oh, well, I went as just as a normal citizen. But
in leather hose?
No, but the waiters were all dressed, like Hitler Youth or
what,
whatever.
in leather pants?
Yes, the traditional thing. But it seems to be a bit old hat now.
Hamper World, thank you very much. We've got a Christmas hamper to give away in the last hour of Nightline tonight, along with the Pancake Parlour and a voucher for a lovely afternoon tea with you and your mates.
All right, 96900 693.
I saw a wonderful program on Channel 2 today, this afternoon, called One on One.
Yes.
Highlighting this week some of the great comics, the great talent of stand-up comedians, and tonight was Barry Humphries.
Oh, what a treat that would be.
It was an absolute joy.
Mm-hmm.
An insight into Barry Humphries, as he is now at 81 years of age, and father of the Adelaide Festival.
And was that a local interview or an overseas one?
A local interview,
All right.
and probably very recent, maybe a couple of weeks old.
I'll catch it later. It's being repeated at 3:30 in the morning.
Very, very good.
I'll watch it.
Very good.
Second time
And
around.
he speaks glowingly of Kath and Kim.
Yes.
Taking the mantle of what he did all those years ago in Melbourne.
Yes.
Along with Faulty Towers, one of his favourite programs.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
understand why, with that absolutely irrational John Cleese and the way he went on.
He was quite eccentric, wasn't he, really? And as is Barry himself, he would be the first to admit. Yeah, a man of many talents is Barry Humphries.
Yes, yes.
And still going strong in his 80s.
Enjoyed that very, very much. 17 past 11, 3AW, our number 96900 693.
If you don't.
Oh, yes.
That's 21 past 11. I'd love to hear from people on their way home from either the Elton John concert tonight or Taylor Swift.
Oh, interesting. Where's Elton John playing?
He was, I imagine, Rod Laver Arena.
Oh, really?
I would imagine.
Gee, don't they come and go? I didn't even know. I knew that he was in town, but not in concert.
You're so right, yes. But these shows are booked out so far ahead that they don't need any pre-publicity.
Is that right?
That's a problem. People book a year away.
All right. Elton John, years later. How's he looking? How's he sounding?
Yeah. And Taylor Swift, did you enjoy her show
Gee,
tonight?
she's getting great reaction,
Yeah,
isn't she?
Everyone loves her too.
They really do.
Yes, they do. So were you there, folks?
Huge talent. What she got, folks?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, tell us what it is.
We could learn from her, couldn't we?
Yes, we could.
Let's have a look at the weather tomorrow. A low of 11 degrees overnight. Cloudy, sunny breaks tomorrow. Top of 19 degrees for our Saturday. And then a warmer Sunday on the way.
Okay, by the way, a wonderful Remember When coming up Sunday night when we turn the spotlight on John Farnham and we talk to author Jane Gazzo about the untold story of John Farnham.
Now, it's an interesting thought about John Farnham. Why not speak to him direct? I believe a better interview is from somebody who's written the book.
Yes.
I say somebody who's perhaps more open about John, more revealing.
It'll be interesting because it is not an authorised biography.
Meaning what?
Meaning that she's gone ahead and done it without his blessing.
He might be loathing her.
So it'll be warts and all, Bruce.
He might be loathing her.
I don't know that for sure, but we'll ask Jane on Sunday.
Can we bring that up?
Oh, we'll. No holds barred.
All right.
Sunday night on Remember When, the John Farnham story.
Sounds a ripper, doesn't it, from this angle?
Yeah, looking forward to that very much.
Brian, good evening at Baldwin.
Hello, Bruce and Phil. For the last 56 years, we've been going to the cottage restaurant in Doncaster for a Christmas lunch.
Yes.
Yes, you know, opposite to the Eastern Golf Club there.
The cottage restaurant, is it?
That's the one. It's always wonderful, and every year we go there.
Oh, yeah. Well, enjoy it again this year, Brian, won't you?
Yes, I will. Thank you very much.
That really is a landmark, that cottage. I haven't heard of that for years.
No.
Yes, it's still going strong.
It is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, good news. Thanks, Brian, for that. Enjoy your Christmas dinner.
How many wedding receptions have you gone to at the cottage, Phil?
Exactly. It's been there forever, Bruce, hasn't it?
The cottage. Have you been there?
Yeah, I've been past it many
What did you
times.
like when you've been in there?
Oh, yeah, I think I've been invited to receptions.
You've been in there? What did you think of it?
Oh, well, I thought it was...
The interior, particularly.
It was very cosy. Yeah, it was very lovely.
So you went in winter, did you?
Yes, they had a roaring fire when I was there.
Did they?
You're quite right, a log fire in the foyer. Mm-hmm.
In the foyer?
We enjoyed some...
in the foyer?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, it's been renovated since you were there, I think.
What happened?
Oh, yeah, they just made a few changes after 50 years, you know.
It was burnt out.
No, I don't think the place burnt down.
Okay, Brian, thank you. George, good evening.
Oh, good evening, boys.
Yeah, welcome to Nightline, George.
Oh, great. Thanks for having me there. A couple of things. I've got a joke, so I'd like to say that at the end, if you're
of course,
to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I just... You are pretty wise and intelligent guys, as far as I'm concerned. With this government, every time there's a problem, doesn't matter if it's Labor or Liberal, like we've had how many Prime Ministers within how many certain years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, people have come and said, oh, you know, there's a world crisis once upon a time ago, and then they came to Australia. No bananas. You know, when we had that banana problem.
I remember that, yes.
Yeah, so that was all at the same time when everything was just crazy. What do you think about why don't we just have scrap the Liberal, National, Labor and just have independent people that you can vote in, because I think you can really, really get some trust out of them.
What difference would there be, do you think?
I think, look, once someone's in power, doesn't matter whether they've got a lot of money like Malcolm Turnbull, it doesn't matter. some people, they have a lot of money and they just want the power. There's nothing left for them other than the power.
Yeah.
And some people, you know, their heart is really on their sleeve, but you just can't find those people. And that's why I'm saying, what do you think? You know, sometimes we should turn around and just say, look, let's scrap all that and just vote for an independent.
Yeah, but they normally only get a handful of votes, don't they?
Well, it's why it's very hard for them, I guess.
But is that a bad thing or not?
They don't have the financial support or the backing of the big guns.
It's so hard. When you hear this Donald Trump blabbering away in America...
Oh, he's dangerous.
He is. Oh, look, I think Barack Obama, he's done what he could, and he's done very good. He's a very well-spoken person too. You know, he doesn't you know, mumble along, or you know, he knows what he's saying, and you know, I think he pretty much spoke the truth. But that's all he could do now.
Yeah.
So if you have someone like Donald Trump, oh my goodness, Putin will say, this is a guy I could talk to.
He's a bit of a megalomaniac, isn't he?
It's a little bit of a scary thing.
You don't hear much about Clive Palmer anymore, do you?
Not in America, no.
Why did he die off? Was there something wrong with his...
Oh, I think it's called mining.
Yeah, and that's gone. Where's that gone? And he's in trouble with a little bit of... with a few people in China.
Yeah.
But anyway, politics is so hard.
Oh, yes.
I didn't mean to pee in your pocket.
No, not at all.
I just thought, what was your opinion like, you know, an independent that really stands up and says, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be done. And then we can at least point the finger to someone. Not that all of a sudden, you know, like Julia Gillard Stad, and it just goes on and on. But an independent, you stand by that person, and that person better stand by us, you know?
Yes.
Oh, you want to hear this joke?
Yeah. Oh, yes, that's right.
Okay, it's not dirty, so don't think it's going to go there. Hung Lee rings his boss. He's an very well-respected Asian person. He rings his boss and says, "Boss, I not feel good today. I not come to work. I have sore head, sore neck, and my leg hurt too. I not feel good. I not come to work." And the boss says, "Oh, Hung Lee, we need you because you're a very good worker here. You're number one. Listen, Hung Lee, take my wife for instance. When I not feel good, I have lots of sex with her, and then I feel really, really good, and then I go to work. Why not you try?" Hung Lee says, "Oh, boss, I don't know. You know, it's..." And he goes, I try, boss, if you say so." So Hung Lee, 3 hours later, rings the boss and says, "Hey, boss, you're so clever, so good. I took your advice. I feel really good. I come to work. I be there in 1 hour. By the way, boss, you have a really nice house."
Yeah, good one. I knew where you were coming from there, George.
Did you?
Yeah, I was on to you.
What, have you been to the same house, have you? All right, George, thank you.
Oh, that's even better. Now, I see where Time magazine, Bruce, have named Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor, the Time magazine Person of the Year.
Yes.
I want to ask you, do you think it's a good choice?
I think a very good choice.
Yeah.
She waged a war during that the Greek crisis with the euro tumbling and going up and down every day.
She did.
I think looking after the interests of Germany in a very difficult time.
Yes,
financially,
and also with the refugees pouring in from Syria.
Pouring in. She's been very generous and very open-hearted there.
Yeah, and she's been in power for more than a decade.
And she kept Europe pretty well balanced economically, didn't she, during those troublesome 6 years ago?
Yes, you're right. I think over the years it's only the second time a woman has been named Person of the Year on Time magazine.
Was Gandhi another one? Indira Gandhi?
Very obviously, I think she possibly was. So my question to you folks is, apart from Angela Merkel, who do you think deserves to be the Time Person of the Year? Somebody come to mind who impresses you, who you think deserves to be on the cover more than she does?
And I don't bring this topic up, nor this personality, but you would be surprised how Trump would be accepted in America at this very moment.
That's very...
As bad and as good as that may be, they are so disillusioned.
How frightening is it?
But it is.
They're so gullible, easily led.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Hitler had a hypnotic effect on the masses
I wouldn't
in
be
the 30s.
equating Donald Trump with Hitler.
No, I'm not afraid to do that. I'm just saying he's having the same hypnotic effect on people, which mightn't be in America's best
Maybe
interests.
not. I'm not suggesting it is. But that's how we're swayed as human beings and how changeable we can become.
Jeb Bush isn't really a favourite, is he? He's
No,
writing
sadly, I mean, I've seen a lot of interviews with him, and he's a very good man. Got the history behind it.
He's rating about 3%, I think, in the polls.
And what about Hillary Clinton?
Yes, she doesn't appeal to me. I find her too ambitious. And
Terribly difficult job, isn't it?
She's to me
please that nation.
Too bossy and too worldly.
To please that nation.
Wouldn't be easy, like Barack Obama tried, and he seems to be very unpopular now.
25 to midnight. Elaine at Brighton, good evening.
Oh, good evening, Bruce and Philip. I just wanted to tell you something that happened during the week which disappointed me very much and also surprised me. Each year I take over to Target or Kmart toys and books, you know, for the kids and put in a big box, and I think they go to the Salvation Army. Well, I did this earlier in the week, and I went to Target, and the lady said, "Oh no, we don't take them anymore." And I said, "Oh, for goodness sake, why?" Oh, she said people steal them.
Oh.
I couldn't believe it. So then I thought, well, golly, what do I do? So I went to Kmart, and they told me much the same thing, except we do keep an eye on things a bit here, but you could put them in that box over there if you like. And I was very reluctant to put them in, and I said, well, you know, I've got quite a few things here, and I really would hate to think they'd be stolen. And she said, well, yes, I know it's terrible, isn't it, but they come in here and steal too. And she said, well, give them to me and I'll take them up to the manager's office and leave them there until the box gets cleared. But that's unbelievable. Really?
Yes, there's some very mean-spirited people out there.
Oh, it's awful. You know, stealing gifts for kids for Christmas, but it's hard to believe, isn't it?
Well, as they do from charity bins outside.
Yeah, as they do from
shops.
stores. People are going into stores and stealing
merchandise.
Merchandise.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of shoplifting going on.
Shoplifting.
Yes. But
Gee,
they
we're
don't-
dishonest, aren't we?
But they don't worry about, you know, what the things are they're stealing when they obviously know it's a charity bin.
Shocking.
There you go. And you were speaking the other night about people who don't dress up very much anymore when they go out, and I agree with you wholeheartedly there. We were at the Princess not so long ago, and there's a lady sitting next to me, and she said, oh, I hope my husband won't be long. I don't want him to be late. He had to go to the gym, and he's got to get home and change. Anyway, husband comes in, and he stands up against the wall in the Princess Theatre and does his warming down process in his shorts and his T-shirt and his Reeboks, whatever. And there he was doing his exercises. He wasn't changed or anything.
What a clown.
And then came and sat next to his wife in the Princess Theatre
Goodness me.
upstairs. Yes.
No class.
No, not very much.
Elaine, we're going to put you into the category, a winner of the Hamper World Christmas Hamper.
Hamper?
Yep, now this is worth $100. Order your Christmas gift hamper from hamperworld.com.au, but we'll get that ready for you.
Oh, good Lord, thank you.
We'll get that ready. If you hold the line, Ken will.
so much.
If you hold the line, Ken will be with you in a matter of.
That's wonderful.
Ken will be with you in a matter of minutes, and we'll organise that prize fill.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Elaine, and a Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
Just
Bye.
hold on now.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Elaine. Georgia at Baldwin, good evening.
Oh, good evening, Bruce and Philip.
Hi, Georgia. Speak up, please.
Yes, it was the caller that rang a little while ago, and I think she was from Holland and was talking about Christmas Eve celebration.
I think in
there.
Finland or...
Oh, yes. Well, in the 80s, we went to Austria and we visited some friends there, and they put on a beautiful Christmas Eve celebration, and they're very similar to what she was talking about. We were very, very impressed. They had... you know, quite a few friends and a fresh Christmas tree, and
lovely.
it was a big spread, you know, that they had, just the dinner, everything, all the beautiful desserts to follow, and of course it was quite cold, so they had lovely puddings and shortbread. It was delightful. And then the following day, what they do is they finish off with the leftovers, and the people, the guests get invited back. It was just such superb. It was so different to what we
Yes, and did you go to any Christmas markets while you were there as well?
No, we didn't do that. We were there for about 3 days, and then we went back to the UK. But no, we didn't do that. We had young children, but it was just like.
Did you stay with them? Did you?
Yes, we did, and it was
How wonderful!
Yeah, they just lived in a very modest apartment.
Yeah.
It was just stupendous.
Great.
What we do.
Yeah.
It was a marvellous celebration.
Yeah.
Just beautiful, and it was new to us because Christmas Day is our big day.
That's right. Yes. And George, it's quite interesting as you travel the Rhine, how many of these little towns are dedicated to Christmas? 12 months of the year have got, not fairyland, but it's like a street scene out of Christmas.
Yes, so right, they all have Christmas shops all year round.
Yeah.
Yes, where you can buy decorations or whatever.
That's right, and you can buy gifts 24 hours a day, like every day of the year.
Would be very much demand for Christmas trees in March, would you?
No, but it's not. It's a lot of gifts and things that you can buy all year.
Yes, that's a tradition.
And it becomes a tourist attraction. You call into these Christmas towns, these Christmas villages.
I don't know if we still do, but there used to be a Christmas shop in Johnson Street, Abbotsford, open all year round. I haven't seen it for ages.
I don't know about that.
But you could buy
I haven't heard
decorations,
of that for a long time.
all that sort of stuff. I think they might have closed.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think there's one near Northland that's a Christmas emporium.
You could be right.
And you buy figures of Father Christmas and all that.
Yes, maybe you can.
This is 3AW, it's 19 to 12, and this is not...
It is hard to believe, Bruce, that 2 weeks from tonight, Christmas will be all over again.
All over.
And, of course, the good news is Bruce and Phil will be at Carols by Candlelight again this year.
Why?
And then we'll be with you for 6 hours on Christmas night.
Yeah, so what's the advantage?
And New Year's Eve and New Year's night.
What's the advantage?
Just reassuring for people on their own to know there'll be some friendly voices in the house, you know? And people who mightn't see anybody over Christmas.
So if you and I weren't here, there wouldn't be a friendly voice?
Oh, well, you know, people would be all the sadder without us, I think.
Do you really think?
People who've been depending on us for 25
Well, let's
Christmases.
not do a phone survey on that.
Well, I'll be thrilled to be here and come into your homes. And hopefully you'll be in touch with us.
William at Port Melbourne, yes.
Hi, Bruce and Phil. No, you're talking about the Christmas tree. Well, I'll tell you what we used to do. What we done is what we used to do.
Yes.
Every Christmas, every New Year's, every Christmas Eve, we'd be out in the front, sitting on a chair. Everyone would toot their horns coming past.
Right.
They toot their horn at us. But what used to happen, they used to have the Salvation Army between Ingle Street and Raglan Street. And they used to play it. We used to listen to it. It was good.
Yeah,
Did you get your Christmas card?
Well, we may have we have a backlog we haven't opened yet.
That's brought back a lot of memories. The Salvation Army used to do a little street parade, didn't they, every Christmas around the suburbs? Stopping off at homes, getting a little donation here and there.
Singing carols.
You don't see that today.
No, you don't. And
Maybe there are other ways of raising money, but they were lovely on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and do you remember in years gone by when you were young, there was always the Salvation Army band on a Sunday afternoon in Burke Street near the Citadel?
That was all year.
You know,
it was every Sunday night.
But I don't think they're there anymore.
Every Sunday night. Elizabeth, good evening.
Good evening, boys. I've just been to the Elton John concert tonight.
Oh, good on you. What was it like?
It was fantastic. He played for 2.5 hours non-stop.
Oh.
He didn't leave the stage until the very end at about 10:25, where he turned around and came back on. He autographed programs for the people who were lucky enough to be down the front. And he finished with Crocodile Rock.
Fabulous.
And when he sang I'm Still Standing, he flashed up all these old photos of himself through his whole career of 48 years of being in the music business.
Wonderful.
So he was fantastic, a true professional.
Isn't that a lovely, good audience too, good numbers?
It was full, and when we all left, you could see smoke coming out of Amy Stadium, obviously where Taylor Swift had been still playing.
Of course.
So it was a very magic night. He's a true professional. He was just gave everything to the audience, no costume changes. He just got on with the show.
Yeah, I love him. Oh, that'd be a great show.
And did all the favourites, so everyone was happy.
That would have been a real
wonderful
traffic jam, both shows coming out together, wouldn't it, Elizabeth?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it was fairly busy, the train system and that last tonight.
Yeah, you went by train. It was okay?
Yeah, it was fine. You just have to wait till they, they send the next one out in the evening.
Who did you take?
Beg your pardon?
Who did you take?
Oh, I just went with a girlfriend.
Oh,
we just had tickets, but you do book a long time ago.
All right, well, let's organise you and your girlfriend to go to the Pancake Parlour for a $50 voucher.
Thank you very much.
Pancake Parlour is open 24 hours at High Point, Doncaster and Malvern East, and you'll love it.
Very kind of you.
Pleasure. Thank you for ringing about the concert. And just be patient, hold the line.
Thank you.
Thank you for ringing. Who's there, Phil?
Lily at Vermont South. Hello, Lily.
Hello, Phil. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Nightline.
Hello, Bruce. How are you?
Yeah, good, Lily. Thank you.
I tried last night, but I didn't get through, so I was determined to get through tonight.
Yeah, well, talk to us because we are running out of time.
I know, but you're right, Phil. There's a lot of people waiting. Like I listen every night, and as you say, New Year's Eve, Christmas night, a lot of people, tune in to listen to you. So they are a lot of people. But that's why I rang to wish you both a very, very happy Christmas. And I know Bruce will with all his grandchildren.
Of course. Of course. And you and your family, we wish you well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm having, after 12 years when my husband passed away, I'm doing the Christmas on Christmas Eve. And as that lady said, where she come from Finland, Austrians and Germans also have on Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes, all Europeans, I think, make a special... occasion.
All right, Lily, have a lovely Christmas, and thank you for sharing yours with us tonight. It was really very, very special. Well, that's the week we've got to go, but a big show Sunday night we'll tell you about.
Yes, looking at the real John Farnham.
Yes, it's really given it away, hasn't it?
A side of John you mightn't have known about before.
It's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Simon Owens takes the bridle and the whip and the stirrups. Oh, and what else do you take?
Oh, well, I suppose...
Well, the spurs.
Oh, yeah.
And he takes us, and the bull by the horn, as he takes us into a brand new day, Australia-wide.
Yeah, I'll look forward to his show. What have you got on for the weekend, Bruce?
Oh, I've got a meeting with... what's his name? Alistair Sim.
Oh, yes.
We're going to do a Tonight Show for London.
It's going to fail.
Why?
I've just got a feeling it's going to bomb.
Well, I think it might because he's dead. The sun will come up tomorrow, bet you $1, and we're back Sunday night with John Farnham. Well, not him, but the lady who's written about him.
Yes, and thanks, Ken, for your contribution and your input.
Where? What? When? Where? How? Where's that happening?
He's been my inspiration.
Good night, Samuel, Carter, Emily, Amelia, Charlotte, Sweet Ella Grace, little William Oliver, and Sophia Grace. I'm Bruce Mansfield.
And I'm Philip, thinking of the sick, the sad, the lonely, and the grieving.
That's right. There's a lot around tonight as we salute them and say good night to the winners.
You're always in our hearts.